Hi, my name's Kelly, and I channel my spirit guides. And I went for a walk, and I live on Catholic property that has a bell, and I'm sitting at a little cemetery. I just went for a walk, and I'm starting to get a download about three things. First of all, what do the ETs have to do with the curiosity about being separate from God? Why is this land so special? And how is it that meditation is the time of day where you will be able to experience your highest joy? Why is meditation the time of day that you will find your highest joy? And in the background, there's a lot of city sounds. I think that was relevant to the land comment. And I'm just speaking to the Devas, the land spirits, the guardians of the 4th dimension. Hi, Kel. There is a reason why there's something so special when you're on the edge of two realms, land and water, night and day, waking and sleeping, okay? That's where duality is the sharpest. The contrast is the greatest. And that's where the most joy can be had. Because your joy, what is joy? Where does joy come from? What brings joy to the surface in our hearts? Joy is something new, expansive, delightful, playful. Why do we feel delightful and playful? Well, delight of light. Enlighten. The less dense it is, the more joyous it is, because you become less dense, you're less miserable. Joy comes when you're less miserable. And when you give yourself the freedom to choose, the freedom is joyful. The freedom to choose. When you have the freedom to choose, being on earth is fun. It's not fun when there are restraints and limitations. So the ETs are a compartmentalized part of your memory in the physical realm, okay? Because you've never not existed. You've always existed. Before the Big Bang, you still existed. So how come you don't remember all that, you know? So that's a compartmentalization that you don't remember before the Big Bang. And maybe you're not ready to even conceive that as a possibility of why that would be true. But that's why the ETs feel strange. The word alien can also mean strange and different. Okay, aliens are strange and different because they are a parallel lifetime that we don't remember, that we're blocked off from. So there's a compartmentalization, and disclosure is a symptom of dissolving the illusion because you're eliminating a veil. Disclosure is literally lifting a veil. So we're going to find out about the ETs. We're going to have this veil lifted between lifetimes because we're all of a sudden going to be told they seeded humans, right? Be ready for that. That's why people like me are channeling, because we are telling stories for you to be ready for the reality that's coming instead of scared of it. You guys are scared of heaven right now. So that's the ET thing. The land is special because it's been prayed over. It's been prayed over. It was chosen very specifically, and it's been prayed over this whole time. I'm looking at these names and these years, and it's like, 200 years, this land has been dedicated to, and they have St. Francis statues outside the doors, and they're barefoot. The two statues of a woman and a guy, I don't know who they are. Probably Jesus, probably Mary Magdalene, but could be also Mother Mary, you know. Tricksters. They hoodwinked us with these names, I think. So they're outside this one building and the entryway, and they're barefoot. And then I was hearing this message today that the only time in the Bible Jesus was angry was in the temple. So don't tell me to listen to the church fathers, okay? Church fathers, patriarchy, come on, it's like obvious. Okay, they were the controlling faction that were also the same consciousness on the planet that burned the villages. They're doing the same thing right now. They're still trying to hide the mother now with Planned Parenthood, and women should go get a job, and your kids can just go here for free and go here for free and go here for free. You gotta stand for something or you'll fall for everything. So now meditation is your highest joy. Well, we said closing your eyes is lifting the veil. So lifting the veil is seeing heaven right where you are, that you've been taken care of, but you've been experiencing a stage of duality. Okay, and you can see how you bought it. You bought it, Kel. But now the only way you know you bought it is that you see it for what it is. And you are like, oh, wow. They were really playing us against each other with that one. Again and again and again all day long. All day long. They were playing us against each other. They were distracting us with that. That doesn't matter. That doesn't even matter. That's actually really important. I've been neglecting that. So, what ties it all together? Becoming enlightened, removing the veils, having the insight to reverse the disassociation from your trauma and your distraction, your pattern distraction can do the same thing as trauma, repetition, confusion. It's, you know, trauma and confusion can go really well together in brainwashing. They confuse you and they traumatize you. That's the best. They got you. They got you. Okay. So, when you meditate, not only are you able to access the heaven inside your mind, but you raise your frequency so that you have access to those ideas when you open your eyes again. And that's going to be anchoring it. And you need help anchoring this stuff because humans are like ADHD, okay? You need soul tribe. The land, the rocks, the trees, they're anchors. They're anchors that have been prayed over because they're in nature. You know? Nature is the biggest source of prana you can find. Go barefoot. Eat the herbs. Smell the flowers. Enjoy the flowers. Play with the flowers. Bring joy. Live. It's about living fully. Christ consciousness is about living fully, joyfully, hold as much joy as you can. Okay, that's our message. Hold as much joy as you can. And we're not talking to you in the physical. We're talking to you in the non-physical. So you're going to hear us louder when you close your eyes. Okay, and then when you listen to us, and then you open your eyes and you anchor what we said in the physical, you anchor heaven on earth. You anchor joy, right? Isn't heaven going to feel joyful? Some things you were told do make sense, and some things you were told don't make sense, and it only takes about 5% to screw up your belief system and make you completely confused. It's really only correcting about 5% of it. But you need to be told again and again and again and again and again because your programming is deep. The only way to undo deep programming is constant therapy. Okay? You've got to But if you can't afford therapy, we're here for you, because the Mother Goddess has always been with you. Quietly, hidden. She's the frame. The mother is the frame of a childhood's life. A childhood. Yeah. Okay. Namaste.